Hey, quick walkthrough of the Ohm's Law worksheet. The Ohm's Law, I'm going to skip over our definitions of voltage, current, and resistance because we should have been able to get that from our notes. The first one here, what voltage was required to move 2 amps through 5 ohms using Ohm's law. We can figure this one out pretty easily. So we know we are looking for our voltage. We are looking for our current of 2 amps. That goes right here. And our ohms or our resistance of 5 ohms. We'll take Ohm's law, write the equation, V equals IR, and substitute the variables into the equation. So V, because we don't know it, is still V. Our I now becomes 2 amps, and that's multiplied by our resistance of 5 ohms. And when you take 2 times 5 and amps times ohms, we get an answer of V equals 10 volts. All right, our next question. All right, same idea. We are looking for voltage. We are given 4 amps, so that is where our I variable comes in, and 20 ohms is our resistance. We can use V equals IR again, and now substitute our variables. V is still V. I now is replaced by 4A multiplied by our resistance of 20 ohms. And 4 times 20 is equal to 80 volts. Question number 3, what is the current in a 10-volt circuit if the resistance is 2 ohms? Now we have voltage given to us, so 10 volts goes here. Current is what we're looking for, so under the I variable, we put a question mark because we don't know it. What is the current? And our resistance is equal to 2 ohms. Again, we're going to write that equation, V equals I times R. All right, and we're going to substitute the variables into the question. 10 volts equals I times 2 ohms. To get I all by itself, because that's what we want at the end of this, we're going to take both sides and divide by 2 ohms. And 10 divided by 2 is equal to 5. And because it's in current, 5 amps equals I. Number 4, what is the current in a 120 volt circuit if the resistance is 20? Again, it's asking us what is the current, so our I is kind of our question mark, so that's what we were looking for. That's the variable we're searching for. Our voltage is 120 volts, and our resistance is 20 ohms. Our equation, again, same one, V equals to I times R. And when we substitute those in, 120 volts equals I, because we don't know that yet, times 20 ohms. To get the I all by itself, we're going to divide both sides by 20. And 120 divided by 20 is 6. Right? So our answer is going to be 6 amps is equal to our current. Moving on to the backside. I believe it's the backside. What is the current in a 120 volt circuit if the resistance is 10 ohms? Again, we're looking for current, so I'm going to put a question mark there. We have 120 volts and 10 ohms of resistance. V equals IR. And when we substitute the variables in, 120 volts equals I times 10 ohms. Divide both sides by 10 ohms. And we get an answer of 12. And because it's in current, it is 12 amps equals current. Now we have a little bit different one with number 6. We're looking for the resistance. All right, so we are going to be looking for our resistance. It tells us that to us right off the bat. What is the resistance of a circuit that is required with 120 volts and 15 amps? So we have 120 volts, 15 amps, and now we're ready to rock and roll. V equals IR. Substitute those in. 120 volts equals 15 amps times R. To get R by itself, we divide both sides by 15 amps. And when you take 120 divided by 15, you get an answer of 8. So our answer, 8 ohms equals R. And remember, the omega symbol equals the same as ohms. And then number 7, what is the resistance? So we're looking for resistance again of a circuit with 20 volts and 2 amps. Write that equation, V equals IR, and we get 20 volts equals 2 amps times our resistance. To get resistance all by itself, we divide both sides by 2 amps, and 20 divided by 2 is equal to 10 ohms. Just quick review questions. The charge of the following: an electron has a negative charge, a proton has a positive charge. Like charges repel, opposite charges attract. Materials through which electrons can move readily or easily are classified as conductors. Classify the following by either writing C beside them for a conductor and I if they are an insulator. Aluminum, that's a conductor. Rubber is an insulator. Glass is an insulator. Water is a conductor. Copper is a conductor. Plastic is an insulator. The unit for voltage is the B volt. The unit for power, down here, D watts. The unit for current, A amps. And the unit for resistance then is C ohms. All right, hope that was helpful. Thanks, guys.